Hey everybody, it's Kim Danke, the Shibboleth new member fast track instructor, and tonight is Sunday. Every Sunday night we have our lifestyle overview, and I am pleased to get to share this information with you. Please forgive my hair, the wet look. Been outside today and washed my hair and got ready for the webinar. I'll look better in the morning, okay? But I don't think you care what I look like, right? If I can just show you and share with you the secrets of weight loss and wellness. If you are on Facebook, please take a second to say hello. Let us know how much weight you've lost on Shibboleth, maybe where you're from. I love to know that information and who's here. If you're a member, please hit the share button, because this is the Mac Daddy webinar where everybody can hear what Shibboleth is all about and actually hear the secrets tonight. Okay, so give me a few hearts and say hello. If you have been a member but haven't been doing the lifestyle, please start with us and reach out to me if you need anything at all. If you are in the Zoom room, please take a second to set your chat to everyone and say hello. Hey, Sheila, good evening. Looking for my brother-in-law this evening. He just joined. Awesome, Sheila. Wonderful. Hey, Sheba. Awesome. I'm glad that you're here with me. Hey, Michelle. Michelle, thank you. Carrollton, Georgia, 70 pounds. Way to go. Hey, Lisa, glad that you're here. I'm so excited. Tonight is my favorite webinar of the week. It's jam-packed. Hey, Robin, down 45 pounds. It's a jam-packed webinar, but there's no reason that you can't do it again next week. And in fact, I suggest that people do this webinar, they go through the whole week with me, and then they redo this webinar and tomorrow night's webinar. Hey, Heather, how are you? So go ahead and do that. Sheila has lost 53 pounds. Way to go, Sheila. Wow, that's awesome. Who else is here with me tonight? Lots and lots of people. I'm glad y'all are here. We got a good turnout tonight. Hey, Deb. Glad you're here. Okay, well, we're going to go ahead and get started, and I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to do something just a little different than I normally do. So I don't actually go over lap 1 with y'all because there's only really 7 nights in a week, and I want to try to make this have a nice little pattern. So I let y'all do lap 1 and lap 2 on your own. Hey, Catherine from Mississippi, we're glad you're here. So I let you do lap 1 and lap 2 on your own, but there is a little tutorial video right there for you to watch, okay? And what you do is you hover your mouse over the task and the black box pops up, that little pop-up. You can read that, and that's going to tell you why you're doing that task and if there's anything special that you might need to know about doing that task. Hey, Angelia, glad you're here. Western North Carolina. And then you just click on the task and then you do it and then you check the box. It is just a very methodical way to work your way through learning everything. When we get right here to these 14 fast track videos, a lot of times people stop and they don't continue going through the laps. It's still very important that you go through the laps. Okay, so there's 14 little videos right there. They'll take you less than 1 hour to watch them. They're not 1 hour videos, so it's not 14 hours. It's 14 short little videos that'll take you less than an hour. And then if you have not looked at your welcome packet yet, this is where it's at, right here. From this one all the way down to this meal plan worksheet, those are printables, they're food ideas and all kinds of things that really you just need to read. And read for understanding, take notes. And then 1, 2, 3, 4 things right here are just joining and liking some Facebook groups that are going to help you out in your journey and make this more fun. I don't really need to go over that. It's just joining some groups, okay? So I don't technically go over lap 1 with you. So go ahead and do that. Now let's look at lap 2, because I don't go over lap 2 with you either. Lap 2 is confirming your email, finding your ideal weight, completing a full body assessment, and things like that. Those are things that you just have to do on your own. Take some pictures, record your measurements, define your why. These are just things you got to do. And there's a tutorial video right there about it. This right here is also kind of where, well, not kind of, it is where I house all the videos from the week. So if you happen to miss a video, it'll be right here where it says watch the daily fast track webinars. So by the end of the week, you should have watched all 7 of them and you can check that box. But I wouldn't check that box until the end of the week is over. Or if you are like me and sometimes an overachiever, then you can go ahead and watch them all for the week. They're all right there. It's fine if you want to do that too, but that's where those are. And then this is the link to the website I'll use tomorrow night for tomorrow night's webinar. And then if you didn't take the little test after the 14 videos, by chance, if you didn't take it back on lap 1, I have it right here just in case. Why do I have that right there? Because on Tuesday night, we are going to start going over each and every one of these laps because it's my time to show you how to utilize the features of the website. So we get a little techie and I'm like, this is how you use the food library and all of that. But why do you need to have that badge done before you get to lap 3? Because when you get to lap 3 and you start digging around in that food library, you're going to want the whole food library to be open to you. You're going to want to have full access to that. The only way you get full access to the food library, the recipe library, and the restaurant guide is to have at least earned this very first badge. The badge does say fast track complete on it. It comes up like that, but technically it's not complete until you finished everything. But the badge does open up your libraries to you, and it's very important. Okay, Sheila, gotcha. Okay, so now what we're going to do tonight, though, is I'm going to stop my share and pick up a different share. All right, we're going to go over this PowerPoint. And if you're going to do anything tonight, please take notes. It's very important to know what you want to do this week because you can start applying this tomorrow in your life. These things are not hard. Now, getting them all done, like making sure each day that you're doing each and every one of them, we're not in the habit of doing it. We got to remember to do it. We've got to kind of force ourselves in this new direction every single day. And that's actually going to seem like the hard part, not what you've got to do, but remembering to do it because we've been living another way for so long. But this is the Shibboleth lifestyle. And tonight we're having an overview. So in Shibboleth, what we're going to talk about tonight is the basics. What is the foundation of the lifestyle? I'm going to give you the overview tonight of the entire foundation of the lifestyle. What I call Shibboleth is a management system. This is not a diet. And this is a lifestyle, but I like to call it a management system. Most things that you want to go well in life have to be managed. We got to manage our weight. We manage our household. There's managers at work that want everything to be successful. So we have to manage things. And I really needed a management system. And so that's what I look at Shibboleth as. I manage my life through this system. So here's the basics. There's 2 modes in Shibboleth. You are either in weight loss mode or maintenance. Weight loss or maintenance. There's only 2 modes. Weight loss means that you just haven't gotten to your goal weight yet. And weight loss is not meant to be the mode you're in for the rest of your life. Weight loss mode is a tool that you use to get healthy, and then you get into maintenance and you stick with it and you keep it. So maintenance is meant to be the mode you're in for the rest of your life. Weight loss mode is a tool to get to maintenance. There's only 3 differences, though, between these 2 modes. 1, the number of holidays that you can have in a month, and we'll talk about that next. 2, how you eat fruit, and we'll talk about that in a couple of slides from now. And 3, your mindset. You might actually be starting off with a diet mindset. Some people do. That's okay. Let it work for you. People are typically excited. So when they're starting a new diet or something. So, hey, let it work for you. But by the time you get to maintenance, we've got to understand that this needs to be a lifestyle for the rest of our life, not an up and down thing. Let's make it be steady Eddie, our lifestyle. So there's two modes, weight loss and maintenance. Three differences between the two modes: number of holidays we can take in a month, how you eat fruit, and your mindset. There are two types of days on Shibboleth. You either have a perfect day or a holiday. Perfect day or holiday. Now, when you go in to journal your very first day and you're in your journal and you click the little drop down menu to choose the option, you might say, wait a minute, there's like 10 types of days listed here. I thought Kim said there's only 2 types of days. Technically, there's only 2 types of days, but all those other things that are listed are advanced versions of a perfect day. Now, in the beginning, I don't want you to even think about those advanced versions of perfect day. The way you need to see this is like you're in kindergarten now, and we're going to take it little by little by little, all the way till we get to college and we know what we're doing, okay? So those advanced days are just like new learning in the future. So what you can be excited about is that there's future education if you want to participate in it. You can actually live this lifestyle, perfect day holiday, and never even learn the advanced stuff. This is technically all you need. But the advanced stuff's cool too, because Travis, our founder, he has spent 20 years living this and developing this and trying these things out on himself before he turns it on to us. It's amazing. So I would suggest that you learn those things, but I don't want you to think about them in the beginning, okay? Perfect day or holiday is all we need as we're getting started. How many holidays are allowed? Now, in this world that we live in, you may have heard the word cheat day, or the 2 words cheat day. And I'm an educator. I used to be a school teacher and a principal, and cheating is not okay, right? Cheating is not okay. So we don't call it a cheat day. Why should we put a negative connotation with food? Food is there to fuel us. Food is there for celebratory reasons. And we don't have to be cheating to be eating some food that's not perfect, all right? So we don't call it cheating. We call a day where we're not having a perfect day, we just simply call it a holiday. So when you are in weight loss mode, you can use up to 6 holidays in a calendar month. When you get to maintenance, you can use up to 12 holidays in a calendar month. Now, you might be thinking, wow, that's almost half the month. How can I have 12 holidays and maintain my results? Well, the other 18 to 19 days need to be truly perfect days, not okay days. See, an okay day is really a holiday, not a perfect day. So, but anything I talk about in Fast Track is going to be with the 6 holidays in a month. I just want you to know that it's 12 once you get to maintenance. Now, so if you think about that and you do the math, in weight loss mode, you need to do right 80% of the month. We can do that. So the reason that I call this a management system is because, you know, a calendar is there to help us manage what's going on in our life. And so I pull out a calendar and I'm like, what days might I need a holiday this month? Are there any vacations, birthdays, anniversaries, and so forth? And I kind of plan for those. That way I know which days can be holidays and which days need to be perfect days. So how do you have a perfect day? You simply follow the Shibboleth shield, the Shibboleth shield. So after 2 perfect days, you are in EFB, efficient fat burning, efficient fat burning. So that you to have a perfect day, sorry, I started stuttering for some reason. To have a perfect day, you're going to drink your water, you're going to journal your foods, you're going to eat in the right food combinations, AKA eat in a way that controls insulin. We're going to learn more about that tonight. Portions, we're going to eat the right portions, and timing. Timing is giving ourselves a break between meals and not grazing. So those are the 5 things that you look for in having a perfect day. I call them my 5 daily disciplines. So component number 1 of the shield is water. You want to drink at least half a gallon of water, up to a gallon every single day. So half a gallon is 64 ounces. A gallon is 128 ounces, but get in 64 as your minimum, but work towards a gallon. A dehydrated body will not efficiently give up fat or waste. Component number 2 of the shield is to journal. You need to journal daily. If you bite it, you write it. If you nibble it, you scribble it. If you drink it, you ink it. And if you hog it, you log it. Okay. We're going to write down everything that we eat. When you journal your foods, it helps you live a life that's more mindful instead of mindless. It helps you do things more conscientious. And writing things down helps you remember what you did. And if you write the things down, if you need the help of a mentor, they can look at your journal and they can tell you what you need to tweak. My friend Nicole Smith just had one this week. She'd only had a few days of journaling in, and she says, well, y'all look at it, and they gave her some tweaks. So it's very important that you write down everything that you eat. And even on a holiday, people ask, oh, even on a holiday? Yes, even on a holiday. On the holiday, what's going to be really important to write down is how you feel after you ate some certain things, because after you have perfect days and you have a holiday, sometimes joints hurt. Sometimes you get a cramp in your leg. Sometimes you have a stomach ache because you've gotten out of the habit of eating like that. And then you'll have a holiday and you're like, oh, shoot. You need to write those things down so you remember that. And you could maybe tweak your holiday even if you need to. Component number 3 of the shield is combinations. We're going to eat properly combined meals. We're going to eat in a way that controls insulin, aka the fat bus. Insulin is the fat bus. I'll explain that in a second. Properly combined meals keep away the fat bus. Okay, the fat bus. The fat bus goes around and picks up fat. So you know how children are, they go to school, they might wait for the bus at the end of their driveway at the front of their neighborhood, and a bus comes by, picks up the kids, and it takes them to their destination, the school. Insulin picks up fat. So if you've got insulin out in your body, it's like a bus that's going to go around and pick up any fat that's in your body. So what we're going to not do is we're not going to put fat and insulin in the body at the same time. Boom. Okay. We're going to talk about that in just a second. So combinations. Now this one is a biggie. So I'm going to do one slide on this tonight, but tomorrow night's webinar, 1 hour on this whole topic. We're going to start looking at the foods that are in the different categories and how you could put them together. Component number 4 of the shield is portions. We're going to eat properly portioned meals from a 6 to 8 inch plate using the 2-hand rule. So technically, if you're using the 8-inch plate, we're not talking the 2-inch rim. We're really just talking that center part. And no matter what size plate you have, you're using your 2 hands. You do not eat more than what fits underneath your 2 hands. So you close your fingers up, move thumbs out of the way, put your hands together as close as possible, and then you just lower them down over your food. You go right over your food and you look. If you can't see your food sticking out from underneath your hand, then you've portion controlled. And you don't want it any thicker than the thickest part of your hand. So what I'm saying is you're not piling up your Thanksgiving plate and saying, I can't see it. Okay. It's reasonable. Our stomachs are not bigger than this. Now, we may have stretched them out to be bigger than that, and they can heal if we start doing the right thing. So we use our 2 hands. So what that means to you is you carry your measuring tools with you wherever you go. So we've been over 4 of the 5 parts of the Shibboleth shield. Water, you can start that tomorrow. Journaling, you can start that tomorrow. eating in the right food combinations. You can start that the best you can tomorrow with the documents and things that are in lap 1. Portions, you can start that tomorrow. And the next one that we're going to go over is timing. But those first 4, those are the 4 that you have to meet in order to say that you are having a perfect day. The timing one is for optimization, okay? So we're going to go over that. And you can start this one tomorrow too. You can start all of them tomorrow. It's the combinations that it's going to take just a few days to start figuring out what are your favorites in each of the categories to then build some meals. But there's some examples and suggestions in lap 1 in your welcome packet. There's even a document called Travis's Fast Start Meal Ideas. So you can use all of those, and you could get started with that tomorrow too. So timing, this is really about giving your body a chance to digest food before you put more food in on top of food that hadn't even digested yet. So you can eat up to 3 meals a day, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, obviously breakfast, lunch, and dinner. You do not have to eat breakfast though. If you're not a breakfast eater, you do not have to eat breakfast, totally fine. But if you do eat breakfast, you want to give yourself 4 to 6 hours between breakfast and lunch, and then 4 to 6 hours between lunch and dinner. It's just very reasonable. If you think about that, it's extremely reasonable. I mean, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I mean, that's what we do. So anyway, but in moments of mental weakness, meaning you're like, I need something now, you can use something called freebies, an extra, or a snack. All right, so you can use these, but these are used in a moment where you feel like you're going to give in if you don't get something. We'd rather you use a freebie, an extra, or a snack and keep it a perfect day than to, not use one of these and give up your perfect day, because you'll still have a perfect day even eating that. It's just that the less we have, the better optimized it is. Keep in mind that we need to stop grazing. I have another little teaching tool right here. This little guy right here, this cow. This cow, he has a stomach that has 4 chambers in it. He was designed for grazing. We don't have a stomach with 4 chambers in it. We weren't designed for grazing. So we don't need to be eating all day long. So let's say that you have breakfast and then mid-morning you have an extra. And then you have lunch, and then mid-afternoon you have a snack. And then you have dinner, and then all night you eat freebies while you're watching TV. That actually looks like grazing. But if it was all properly portioned, approved foods, and you didn't have more than 1 extra, more than 1 snack, and you had 3 properly portioned combined meals, that actually would be a perfect day. Okay, that would be a perfect day. Now, just because these things are allowed doesn't mean that they are expedient. Okay, so let's say that you decided to have 3 meals during the day and then you had a freebie after dinner. That would be a better Shibboleth perfect day. And then let's just say that you had 3 meals. That would be an even better Shibboleth perfect day. They're all 3 approved. They're all 3 approved. It's just that one is going to yield faster results than the other 2. So there's good, better, and best. And what I love about that is they're all approved. Every single day that we live could be different. I mean, things are going on in our lives and things change. One day you might really feel like you need a snack. Eat it. If you don't need a snack, don't eat it. And you just play around with it, okay? But you can do all of that and have a perfect day. Now, if you have more than 1 extra, or if you have more than 1 snack, technically that's going over component number 4, portions. That's going over your portions for the day, and it would no longer be a perfect day, okay? And freebies are technically unlimited, but I don't like for people to just go, woo, let me just eat pickles all day long. But you do what you've got to do to keep perfect days, okay? Some people say that the pickle, they should take stock in pickle companies when they first start, but you got to do what works for you. Okay, how do you put together a properly combined meal? This is going back to component number 3 of the shield, combinations. So how do you learn combinations? Well, you need to know that we use 7 categories of food. So all foods that either roam on the earth or grow from the earth, and man-made foods that are approved, will fall into one of these 7 categories. They fall into the category based on their nutritional profile and how they respond in your body. So category 1 is a lean protein, or LP for short. Category 2 is a fibrous carb, FC. Category 3 is an energy carb, EC. Category 4 is a protein plus fat, PF. Category 5 is fruit, FR, also known as an antioxidant carb. So if you see AC or antioxidant carb somewhere on any of the documents, just know that that's fruit. Category 6, superfood, SF, and category 7, shellfish, SHF, which is really just a lean protein. So you've got your bookends of the categories. Category 1 and category 7 are both lean proteins. So in category 1, you've got things like fish and chicken breast and egg whites. In category 2, fibrous carbs, you've got green beans, broccoli, asparagus, and things like that. But we have over 60 approved bread or bread type items in that category. Category 3, energy carbs, potatoes, corn, oatmeal. Category 4, protein plus fat, all cuts of steak, eggs. Category 5, fruit, all fruit. Category 6, superfood, nuts, nut butters, seeds, most of your darker colored beans. Now, a food qualifies to be a superfood because it has all 4 macronutrients in there. I'm going to ask this tomorrow night if y'all don't mind writing that down. Oh, another question I'm going to ask tomorrow night. How many calories are in 1 pound of fat? I didn't tell you that. 3,500. Y'all write that down. 3,500 calories in 1 pound of fat. I'll go back into that in a second. But the 4 macronutrients that are in superfood are water, protein, fat, carbs. Water, protein, fat, carbs. So a superfood has all 4 macronutrients in there. And then shellfish, which is really just a lean protein. So you heard me say that all fish is in category 1, lean protein. Well, we pulled shellfish off, and this is how I just explain it. All the other critters that live in water that aren't a fish, whether or not they have a shell, example, octopus does not have a shell, all of it's going to go in shellfish. So all fish is just in your regular lean protein, but all the other critters that live in water are going to go in shellfish. We pulled shellfish off of category 1 lean protein because some people, due to medical reasons and biblical reasons, don't want to eat shellfish. So it's just kind of off in its own little category. So that's why that is. So let me go back to that 3,500 calories real quick. So there's 3,500 calories in 1 pound of fat. In order to lose 1 pound of fat, we've got to be in a 3,500 calorie deficit. That doesn't happen in one day. That happens over a course of a few days, okay? But when you are getting into that calorie deficit, if you're also controlling insulin, you aren't storing new fat while you're getting into the calorie deficit and defeating the whole purpose. See, this is brilliant because we are not storing new fat because of what we're eating, and we're getting into that calorie deficit by how much we're eating, and that's how we get weight off of us that we don't want on there. So when we're looking at these categories, you've got 1 through 7. And what I like for people to do is maybe take a notepad and start writing the categories up at the top so that they can write lists under them of foods that they hear that they like that go in those categories. So you don't have to eat anything that you don't like on Planet Shibboleth, but it is very important to figure out what you like in these categories so that you can make meals. So if you've written by chance, if you wrote categories, if you wrote 1 through 7 at the top of the piece of paper, I want you to circle the next 5, I'm going to say. If you didn't write it down, you can go ahead and write that 1 through 7 at the top of a piece of paper. And I'm going to tell you 5 categories to circle. The ones that we're going to circle do not even have to be combined at all. They can be eaten alone. So category 1, category 2, category 4, category 6, and category 7. They can all be eaten alone. So that's 1, 2, 4, 6, and 7. So the only 2 that you should not have circled are 3 and 5, because those must be eaten properly combined, okay? So let's have a look at that. So those ones that we circled, we can eat alone. Why is it important to know which ones you can eat alone? Well, not every eating situation that you're going to be in is going to be optimal. You may end up at a luncheon, and when you go over and you look at that food and you go, ooh, fat bus, fat bus, fat bus. That's the very first thing I did when I learned the lifestyle. And then I went to a luncheon. I'm like, that's going to bring the fat bus. That's going to bring the fat bus. That's going to bring the fat bus. Oh, they have chicken. I'll eat chicken. So I just ate the chicken. And that's going to happen sometimes. Not every single time we eat does it need to be a full out production. Sometimes food is just there to fuel us, and we just need to be able to make the best decision at the time for that moment and just make a good decision. So we just need to know which ones we can eat by themselves. But that energy carb one that you did not circle, it needs to be eaten with a lean protein and a fibrous carb. So if you want to eat an energy carb, it's got to be combined with a lean protein and a fibrous carb. What might a plate look like if you are making a meal with that? So energy carbs, let's just say you want some corn. Corn is an energy carb. And an energy carb is going to elevate your blood sugar. When you eat it, it automatically elevates your blood sugar. Your pancreas secretes insulin to deal with the blood sugar elevation. But remember earlier how I said that insulin it stores fat? It's actually a growth hormone that is focused on fat storage. We do not need to be storing fat, right? Think about this. After you've gotten to 18 or 19 years old, or whatever age it is that we've stopped growing taller, if we have insulin surging through our body all of the time, we're not growing taller. We're going to end up growing wider because it's going to store the fat that's in there. If we eat fat at the same time that insulin is out in our body. So this is why these combinations work. So let's say we got our 2 hands, right? Let's say we're going to have some corn. It's going to be about 1/4 cup. It'll sit right there. All right. And let's say that you're learning, I've got to eat that with a lean protein and a fibrous carb. I'm going to keep it super simple tonight. Chicken breast and green beans. So let's tell the story of this plate. The corn is going to elevate your blood sugar. Your pancreas is going to secrete insulin to deal with the blood sugar elevation. But now that you're learning what you're learning with Shibboleth, the protein in the chicken breast and the fiber in the green beans are going to help neutralize the insulin release that came out because of the corn. Secret, Secret alert, you have just learned how to use food as medicine to deal with insulin that came out because of something that you ate. Also, in that particular meal, there was no fat. That chicken breast is basically, I mean, it's a lean protein. If there's any fat in there at all, it's just negligible. It's not going to, get stored. In this green beans, there's no fat. In the corn, there's really no fat in the corn either. It's just that the corn is the catalyst to fat storage if it was eaten with a protein plus fat. If it was eaten with fat, it's going to store it. So there you go. There's the secret. Now you know. Now you can just start putting that together every day. Okay, fruit. Remember when I said that there was a difference between how you eat fruit in weight loss mode and in maintenance mode? In weight loss mode, fruit must be combined with a lean protein and a fibrous carb. Once you get to maintenance, if you're eating fruit with a meal, you still need to combine it properly. But if you want to eat some fruit as a snack on its own, you can do that on a perfect day in maintenance. So in maintenance, fruit can be eaten alone by itself. Keep in mind that weight loss mode and maintenance mode are two different nutritional situations. If you're in the nutritional situation that you have stored energy, hey, Susie, glad you're here. If you are in the nutritional situation that you have stored energy, see, stored energy is just fat. I mean, if you got that on your body, then we need to get that off. And that's why we're in weight loss mode. That's why we are highly controlling that insulin. But once you get to maintenance, it's going to be a little ebb and flow, about 5-10 pounds, mainly about, let's just say 5 to 7, because when you eat, it goes up a little and down, So it's not as important at that point in time. And a little bit of fruit by itself isn't going to hurt you in maintenance. In weight loss, you won't see the results that you want if you do that. All right. So if you want to have some fruit, let's just say that you want to have some berries. Well, maybe you want to eat some berries for breakfast. So you make yourself an egg white spinach omelet. The berries, which are lowest on the glycemic index, but fruit still has fructose in it. And fructose is a natural sugar. It doesn't matter whether the sugar is natural sugar or an energy carb that converts into sugar. It's still going to elevate your blood sugar. And your pancreas is still going to secrete insulin. But if you have an egg white spinach omelet, or if you don't like egg white spinach omelet, we'll figure out something else for you to eat. That's just my example right now. The protein in the egg whites and the fiber in the spinach are going to neutralize the insulin release from the berries or whatever fruit you had. And you're going to have a properly combined meal. The next thing we need to talk about is protein plus fat. So protein plus fat can be eaten by itself. Let's say that you just want to make yourself some eggs for breakfast. You can do that. That's fine. But what you need to know is what not to eat with protein plus fat. Now, it's got this word fat. That is not a bad word. This word fat, our body actually will use fats for certain functions. And if you eat protein plus fat in a portion controlled way, that fat is just going to get used up as energy and it will dissipate as heat. So if you portion control it, it's going to be fine. But what you don't want to do with it is you don't want to eat it in a way that's you don't want to eat it with foods that bring an insulin release, because insulin is the fat bus and it's going to go capture that fat. So you can eat it by itself, but optimally you'd have it with a fibrous carb. Let's say that you have a steak and baked potato. That's not going to work. Now, steak and baked potato, no one on planet Shibboleth is taking steak and baked potato away from you. You can have it up to 6 times a month. See, this management system that we have just helps you make good decisions for your body. We're doing things one day at a time, making some good decisions one day at a time. So if you are a big steak and baked potato eater, you're just going to want to do that 6 times a month. That's it. That's it for now. Okay. If you want to do it 12 times a month when you get to maintenance, that's fine. But in weight loss mode, up to 6 times a month. But let me tell you what happens when you eat a steak and baked potato. The baked potato is going to elevate your blood sugar. Your pancreas is going to secrete insulin to deal with that blood sugar elevation. But it's going to get super excited because you ate it with a steak, and it is going to go out there and capture the fat from the steak. That's what happens. So on a day where you want to have a perfect day, but you kind of hankering for a steak and a baked potato, you got a decision to make. The decision is, am I really wanting the potato or the steak? Which one is it more? Because you can have a potato on a perfect day. You just don't eat it with a protein plus fat. You just don't eat it with a steak. You can have it with 90. If you still want some red meat with it, have it with 96% lean ground beef hamburger patty and maybe some broccoli. So if you can have it that way. But if it's the steak that you want more than the potato, you simply say, okay, today I'm going to have it with broccoli, or I'm going to have it with asparagus. I'm going to have a side salad, something like that. But you just wouldn't do it together on a perfect day. So what you're not going to eat with protein plus fats are energy carbs, which is 3. Awesome, Debbie. Debbie's having her first weigh-in tomorrow. She's had a perfect week. Oh, I can't wait to hear what it is, Debbie. I'm so excited. That's great. So with your protein plus fats, you're not going to eat that with category 3 energy carbs, category 5 fruit, or category 6 superfood, because those bring more of an insulin release and you don't want to eat it with the fat. That's that. We're going to keep fat and insulin out of the body at the same time by the combinations. So let's have a look over here at this chart. Now this chart says phase 1. Phase 1, y'all, is technically the foundation of the lifestyle. You'll be in that forever. Okay. You might hear the term phase 2 as we talk tomorrow night. Phase 2 is not necessarily us moving into a higher quality of food. The highest quality of food is right here in phase 1, the foundation. Phase 2 is where we open up some more cereals to you that include Captain Crunch and Reese Puffs. You got to know we didn't go higher quality on that. Some frozen meals and some soups. So it just opens up some more foods from the inner aisles of the grocery store when we say phase 2. But this one is just like, if you could use this combination chart for your first 7 to 10 days, that would be your best combination chart. There is an advanced combination chart that we're going to go over on Friday night. And technically you can use that from the very beginning as well. And if you want to go have a look, you can go have a look. It's in lap 6 fast track. But this one, you'll notice, doesn't include energy, carbs, or fruit on it. Because if you are willing to leave energy, carbs, and fruit out on your first 7 to 10 days, you're going to have better results. Okay. So let's read what this reads like, because these numbers that you see here are not quantity. These are the category number. And then you've got the abbreviation. So this is going to read like this. Oh, and these plus signs does not mean we're doing math either. Okay, so this is category 1, lean protein, eaten with category 6, superfood, eaten with a category 2, fibrous carb. So this might look like chicken breast, black beans, and green beans. Okay, that's what that might look like. Then let's look at this third one right here. Category 1, lean protein, eaten with category 7, shellfish. Lean protein and shellfish? How can you have 2 different lean proteins? Because they're both lean proteins. You're just not going to do more than what goes underneath this hand. So maybe you put some chicken here, maybe you put some shrimp here. You can have 2 flavors of lean proteins on your plate. Totally fine. And then this is eaten with a fibrous carb. And we come over here, see right there, there's your category 4 protein plus fat by itself. There it is with there it is with a fibrous carb. This is your superfood by itself. And MCT is an oil. We're going to talk about that in 2 slides from now. See this word, these 2 letters MR, that means meal replacement, meal replacements. We're going to talk about some meal replacements this week that are great for weight loss. All right. So you can do that. This blue column is fast weight loss. This yellow column is faster weight loss. And this red column, you are blowtorching fat like you'd blowtorch butter. So I like to equate these three like a trip to the beach. The blue column is your scenic route. The yellow column is the highway. And the red column, that's the interstate. But if you think about a trip to the beach, you don't typically take just the scenic route or just the highway or just the interstate. And we're all in the different ways that we all get to the beach, no matter what kind of drive we take, we're all going to get there. It's might taking the scenic route, just might get there a little bit, few days after, few hours after, that type of thing. But you're living a lifestyle, so you're probably going to have a little bit of all of this. But in the beginning, if you can kind of stay in this red and yellow, you're going to have your best results. And if you throw in a blue column meal, once a week or ever so often, that's fine too. Okay. So there's flexibility there. All right. So next slide, we are going to recap the important rules of food combinations. So a category 1, which is a lean protein, or a category 7, or you can have them together, remember, shellfish, eaten with a category 2 fibrous carb, cooked up in MCT oil, medium chain triglyceride oil, we're going to talk about that next, are the fastest fat burning combinations. Those are the fastest fat burning combinations. Awesome, Jennifer. I'm excited for you. That's wonderful. Jennifer says that she's starting her journaling and eating right tomorrow, and she's excited. Wonderful. If you want to eat an energy carb or fruit, you must eat it with a lean protein and a fibrous carb. And with category 4s, we just don't eat energy carbs, fruit, or superfoods. And this is very, very, very important. All meat at a restaurant should be considered a category 4, protein plus fat. Because when you go to a restaurant, let's say at home you cook chicken breast, it's a lean protein, but you cooked it in the right oil. You cooked it in the Shibboleth approved oils. When you go to a restaurant and you order chicken breast, they didn't cook it in Shibboleth approved oils. So you've got to consider that a protein plus fat. So basically they took a piece of lean protein and cooked fat into it and made it a protein plus fat. So the reason that you do that, because if you consider all meat at a restaurant a category 4, it just means you're not going to order energy carbs, fruit, or superfoods with it. You're going to be ordering a fibrous carb with it. All right, cooking oils. We recommend 100% MCT oil. MCT is a medium chain triglyceride. It has almost no propensity to be stored on your body as fat. Amen. I haven't bought anything since I found that little bit of detail out. So a medium chain triglyceride has almost no propensity to be stored on your body as fat. What were we using before Shibboleth? Typically olive oil, canola oil, vegetable oil. Well, those are long chain triglycerides. They have a great propensity to be stored on the body as fat. I don't want that. So I don't buy those anymore. That's a simple swap. See, in Shibboleth, we're going to start teaching you in the food library, what are the swaps are you going to make for breads and tortillas? What are the swaps you're going to make for soups? And then in the combinations, what are the swaps are you going to make about what you have on your plate together at the same time? And this is simply the oil swap. See, Shibboleth is just about swapping some things and putting some good habits into play every single day. So we want you to use 100% MCT oil. We do sell one called Zero Drag. Zero Drag. It's on our website if you want to get that. But you're not looking for just coconut oil. Coconut oil is approved, but coconut oil is not 100% MCT oil. It's about 66% MCT oil. It's not 100. 100 is going to give you your best results for that fastest fat burning blowtorch type of day. You can also use ghee butter, ghee spelled G-H-E-E butter. There's about 25% MCTs in that, but this gives us that lifestyle, okay? A lot of times if you eat shellfish, and you want to dip some crab legs or lobster tail or make some shrimp scampi, you need a butter flavor. And so you could use ghee butter for that. What ghee butter is, it's butter. It's just been clarified, meaning all of the milk solids have been clarified out of it. So you can use those three right there. And you can also use 0-calorie cooking spray. So here's how I make a decision. If I am cooking a lean protein or shellfish, I use 100% MCT oil. If I am cooking a protein plus fat, I use 0-calorie cooking spray. And I use ghee butter typically when it comes to recipes and such, and the occasional cooking something else in it. So that's how I do that. Now, in a medium chain triglyceride, you don't want to use more than a tablespoon per serving. So if you're making yourself one piece of chicken in a pan, and you could use up to 1 tablespoon. If you're making 4 pieces of chicken for the family, you could use up to 4 tablespoons. Now, there's 130 calories in that tablespoon. And you might be thinking, why would I choose to use 130 calories worth of MCT oil when there's a 0-calorie cooking spray right there? Well, medium chain triglycerides have a muscle preserving effect and a metabolism building effect. They burn very, very fast. I mean, they burn like that. That's why they have almost no propensity to be stored on your body as fat. In fact, when you're cooking with these, you should cook on low to medium heat. Otherwise, you'll set off your smoke detector. Okay, you don't want to set off your smoke detector. So cook on low to medium heat. Now, there's a lot of noise out there today in the market, Facebook, all these different places. There's a lot of noise. I call it noise because we're just bombarded all the time with information. That there's a lot of noise around MCT oil. Ooh, put it in your coffee. Ooh, take it as a supplement. I'm going to add it to a shake. No. We use it for 3 reasons only. Cooking, in a recipe, or making approved salad dressings. Never think that you need to take MCT oil as a supplement. You don't. You do not put it in your coffee, and we don't add it to shakes and other random things. So it's just for the purpose of cooking, recipes, and making approved salad dressings. But it's a good product, and I've really, really liked it. So medium chain triglyceride. All right, we're going to be wrapping this thing up. So you've heard the overview tonight. You now know how to have a perfect day. We are striving for perfect days, but planned or unplanned, a holiday is coming. After a holiday, it takes 2 perfect days to get back into efficient fat burning. So when you journal your very first perfect day, you're going to see a green check in your timing chart. It's a calendar that we use, and we'll talk about that on Tuesday night. When you journal your second perfect day, you're going to see another green check. That's your first 2 perfect days. Your body is actually going to start healing during those 2 days. Our bodies really will heal pretty quickly if we start doing the right thing for it. On your third perfect day, you're going to see a flame instead of a green check. And you are in EFB, baby, efficient fat burning. What that means is your body is going to access stored energy for the energy that you need and start burning it off your body. That is what we want to do. We want to access that stored energy that's there. So let's look back at this. We're striving for perfect days, and you get a flame streak. I call it a flame streak. You get a flame streak going, but then planned or unplanned, a holiday is coming. After a holiday, you get right back to business. This is part of the management system that Shibboleth is. You now will know what to do after a holiday. Now you don't have to let going on vacation and having 6 or 7 holidays in a row turn into a month or 3 months. You don't have to do that anymore. I know I've done that in the past. So we have 6 or 7 days of a holiday if we went on vacation. Well, 6, because you wouldn't do a 7th. When you're in weight loss mode. But when you get back, you know exactly what to do to get back on track. All right. So after a holiday, it takes 2 perfect days to get back into EFB. When we are in EFB, our body is going to burn fat, which is stored energy, for the energy that we need, rather than easily accessible sources of energy, such as unapproved oils and starchy and sugary carbs. Think about this. If you have put unapproved oils and starchy and sugary carbs in your body, like humans often take the path of least resistance for things, our body is going to go to the easiest energy source first. That would be an unapproved oil or a starchy or sugary carb. Oh, back to the olive oil, canola oil, and vegetable oil. It's a long chain triglyceride. It's a longer fat lipid, so it takes longer to burn through, and it's more dense, so it takes longer to break down. So if you're giving it that, it's always going to be gnawing on that, not actually ever getting to stored energy, which is what you're trying to access. Okay, so that's the point of eating properly. So what is the fat bus? The fat bus is insulin. Insulin is a growth hormone. It's a fat storage hormone. Insulin also increases appetite. Have you ever eaten some ice cream and then wanted chips, then wanted a pickle, then wanted a cookie, and you're like, oh my goodness, what am I doing? It's insulin. It'll send your appetite off the charts. After an insulin release, fat storage will occur for up to 48 hours, meaning you're out of EFB, hence the 2 days to get back into efficient fat burning after you've had a holiday. So after the fat bus has been on its rounds, it takes 2 perfect days to get back into EFB. Okay, what am I going to eat this week? Make a list of your favorite 7 lean proteins. Make a list of 7 of your favorite lean proteins, which can come from category 1 or category 7. There's some ideas in the new member food library and all kinds of places in lap 1. Make a list of 7 of your favorite fibrous carbs, category 2. And then mix and match something. This is literally like if you were in elementary school and you had a list on this side and a list on this side, and you're supposed to match something that goes with something on this side. You just make some meals and eat it. And then if you have MCT oil, cook it up in MCT oil. Throw in a few meal replacements for simplicity. If you were eating Pop-Tarts before, we got to figure out what you can eat for that quick and easy meal that'll work for you instead of against you. So we'll find some meal replacements for simplicity. Keep it super simple in the beginning, in this very first week, and then branch out as you continue to live and learn the lifestyle. And then next, make sure you're in our Facebook support groups. When you're in lap 1 of Fast Track, that's going to lead you to join those Facebook support groups if you're a Facebook user. It says familiarize yourself with our awesome website, and we're going to go over that. Tuesday night through Saturday night, we're going to be playing in that website to show you how to use that. We'll talk about mentor appointments on Saturday night, but focus in on the Fast Track this week and just make sure that you have given yourself your best effort, your best effort. You are worth your best effort. I don't want anybody skimming anything this week. I don't want skimming. I don't want scanning. I want reading for understanding. There is a huge difference in reading to understand something or just skimming because you truly don't want to have to do something new. Okay, so we've got to want it, and we need to read for understanding. So if you listen to this tonight and you are not yet a Shibboleth member, we have a special going on right now. It ends tomorrow. It's $79 for a lifetime membership. After tomorrow, it'll be back up to the normal price of $99 for a year, which is still a steal. But right now it's $79. You can get that at shibbolethdeals.com. Those of you who are on here that have some friends that you think might enjoy doing this lifestyle with you, please keep in mind, it doesn't, hey, Gloria, it does not have to be just for somebody who wants to lose weight. Maybe you have a friend that has diabetes. We have a lot of doctors send their patients to us for that. So, or pre-diabetic conditions, just go ahead and let them know about this at the $79, shibbolethdeals.com. There's a spot in there that's going to ask them how they heard about Shibboleth. They can put in your name. Hey, Michelle, welcome to Shibboleth. I saw that you joined this weekend from Ball Ground. That's awesome. And so we would love for you to just have them type in your name. We like to thank our members for doing that. Hey, Teresa from Kentucky. Glad y'all are here. You're welcome, Phyllis. Thank you for being here with me so often and so diligently. I appreciate that. Hey, Sherry, join late. Can I watch this on the page? Yes. Yes, Sherry, it'll be there. And Sherry, it'll also, did you get that worked out today about your payment? But anyway, so you can also watch it once you get into the website too. You can message me back about that other thing. All right. Well, if you are still going to hang out with us? Okay, good, Sherry. Hang out with us and go ahead and watch Jason. Jason, one of our teachers, our coaches, our challenge leader, he's going to be doing a webinar next called How I Overcame Food Addiction and Lost Weight. If you're a member, go to the pink online webinars tab to get registered and share it with your friends on Facebook. Bye, everybody.